Triple H is firing back at Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, so we'll see what he had to say. We'll also check out how Brock Lesnar breaking character might change his usage, damage control, and more. Let's start things off with Triple H's response to the frustrated members of the WWE Women's Division. When it was confirmed that Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus didn't make it to the SummerSlam card, it sent this wave of shock and disbelief throughout the entire wrestling community. A feud that's been going on for so long with two of the biggest names in WWE history couldn't make the card. And of course you had Rhea Ripley, who hasn't been featured in a title defense in the last few premium live events. So all those topics were the real talk of the town in the days leading up to SummerSlam, and everyone was basically looking at Triple H for an explanation, since he is the chief content officer and head of creative. Well, the media members in the SummerSlam press conference really put Triple H on the hot seat with a lot of questions related to that topic, and he fired back at critics and even superstars who were throwing shade at WWE for missing SummerSlam. Triple H was asked if he views the men and the women talent in WWE in different lights. He said that he looks at the male and female talent all equally as talent. He said that the women don't get opportunities and main events for no reason. He said that if their story is good enough for the main event spot, then they will get that spot. Triple H also addressed everyone that was talking about matches being cut, and he had this to say about that heated situation. Quote, "There was a lot of banter this week about matches being cut. Nothing was cut. There was no card announced, right? If we don't have more things in the pocket that can fit in the PLE, I've done a terrible job, because there's always an injury waiting around the corner. There's always a moment that changes everything. If one creative thing changes, it changes the trajectory of everything. The show was plenty long tonight. If it was anything longer, that would have been bad. So there comes a time when we say, does everything get shorter time? Does everything get rushed? Does everything get hairy? Or do we move things around and shift it and give it a bigger spotlight? As a performer for me, I'd rather have the bigger spotlight. That's how I look at it." End quote. Triple H also made a comment about how people are going to have to take the lemons and make lemonade every once in a while, which some fans took as a shot at Becky Lynch, because Becky posted about making lemonade the morning of SummerSlam. Becky would take this event further by bringing up lemonade to the Raw after SummerSlam, and even mocking Triple H's water spit as well. But the entire quote from Triple H was pretty much directed at Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. Becky and Trish were throwing shade at WWE all week long for being pulled and cut from the SummerSlam card. But Triple H's argument is that Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus weren't cut from SummerSlam because they were never on the card to begin with. So under that technicality, Triple H is right. Becky versus Trish at SummerSlam wasn't cut per se, but it was just left off the card completely. It would have been a whole other issue if Becky and Trish were legitimately advertised for SummerSlam and then got cut. That would have been a real nightmare. But Triple H's response to this entire situation is that he looks at it as a good thing. He thinks it proves that they're doing a good job to have so many great ongoing stories that they can't fit it all onto one premium live event. So we'll see how Triple H makes this up to everyone that was left off the SummerSlam card. Hopefully we get to see Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and even Rhea Ripley at the next premium live event. Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes feud concluded at SummerSlam in a major way. The match focused on Cody Rhodes once again never giving up and how his desire to keep fighting never went away. Brock tried telling Cody to stay down outside the ring several times, but Cody kept making it back in with several 9 counts from the referee. Then moments later, Cody Rhodes was able to pick up the clean win over Brock Lesnar. But the interesting part happened post-match, where Brock Lesnar rubbed heads with Cody Rhodes, shook his hand, and raised his hand several times, to all the different sections of the live crowd. Now, initially, right after that happened, fans thought it was a pretty weird moment for the story. Brock Lesnar despised Cody Rhodes for these last few months, brutally attacked him in front of his mother a few weeks ago, and now he gladly accepts the defeat and shakes Cody's hand? Well, the explanation for that moment was given out by Triple H during the SummerSlam press conference. Triple H confirmed that everything that took place post-match between Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes was completely unscripted and unplanned. Brock Lesnar was just supposed to lose the match and walk up the ramp. That's what the original plan was. But it was Brock Lesnar who broke character and went off script with that entire moment that he shared with Cody Rhodes after the match. So, knowing that it was unscripted really changes the entire viewing of that moment second time around. Cody Rhodes was legitimately clueless about what Brock Lesnar was doing there after the match, because obviously nothing was planned post-match. So, the look on confusion on Cody Rhodes' face when Brock Lesnar came up to him and shook his hand was all genuine from Cody Rhodes. Cody even said after SummerSlam that the win over Brock and the moment they shared together after the match was one of the top moments of his career, and one of the top moments of his entire life. The interesting conversation to have here is if WWE will now be forced to turn Brock Lesnar back into a babyface because of that post-match moment at SummerSlam. It looks like WWE intended for Brock to leave the ring after the match and still be a heel. But his unscripted moment there with Cody sort of painted Brock Lesnar back into a babyface. So it'll be interesting to see how WWE handles that for Brock Lesnar's character in the near future. Brock was previously being advertised for WWE's Fastlane show in October, but reports are now claiming that Brock could be going on a long hiatus until possibly WrestleMania season. For weeks, everyone wondered if Bayley would accidentally screw Iyo Sky out of cashing in her Money in the Bank contract. Well, SummerSlam gave us the long-awaited answer to that question. Bayley ended up fully helping and assisting Iyo Sky in cashing in her contract to become the new WWE Women's Champion. Dakota Kai even stopped by to celebrate and make the moment even more special. And it was a big deal because SummerSlam 2022, Damage Control was making their debut together. And now at SummerSlam 2023, they're celebrating this big moment together with Iyo Sky. But this assist from Bayley doesn't fully take her off the hook. This could still be part of some plan from Bayley. Bayley is now extremely close to the women's title, and she's been trying to get her hands on a title ever since she returned in 2022. So, you know that jealousy has to be there from Bayley's character when she looks over at what Iyo Sky now has in her possession. It's also interesting because it's like a reverse version of Sasha Banks and Bayley's story from 2020. Bayley was the defending champion with Sasha by her side playing second fiddle. Well, now, Bayley is in that second fiddle role next to Iyo Sky. So how will she handle that, and what could that lead towards? That's something that should definitely be focused on in the coming weeks. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.